of our show, Talk to Coach in association with India Coaching Federation. Ladies and gentlemen, namaste. This is your host Khushboo Sharma. Welcomes you on our forum this evening. We truly appreciate your presence and time as always. As I say, we all come together with the sheer purpose of getting an inch more closer to coaching and its business. And today, yet again, we are together on this forum, exclusively there for you, sharing our wisdom with you, answering your questions, and making the difference. Let me remind you to drop your question, and we shall take them up in the starting of our next episode. So, coaching can be useful in a number of life situations, both big or small. Anytime a person is struggling with a change in life, career, or relationships, or considering a transaction, I'm sure this is where a certified coach can prove useful. This show of ours aims to introduce all individuals to the concept of coaching and what is involved for both the professionals and the clients. This show outlines what coaching is and breaks down various aspects of this useful process for anyone. Anyone, when I say who's considering hiring a seasoned professional coach, or for that matter, those who want to learn more about coaching in general. And having said that, we have two questions from our audience, which will be taken up in today's episode by our own Dr. Dhirendra Gautam, the chairman of NMCBI and India Coaching Federation. Welcome to the Coach Talk to Coach show, Dr. D. Once again, how are you doing today?
Fine, thank you very much, Khushboo, and it's really privilege having it here again and talking to our lovely audience, who are asking really great questions relating to the coaching and transformation, empowering, and their challenges relating to their life, career, business, and relationship. I'm really excited to talk to our audience and be help of any kind we can provide it through us or through India Coaching Federation. Thank you for inviting again.
Thank you very much. It is always a pleasure to have you with us. And I believe the reason why our audience are able to put such great questions across, and it's a great feeling to see the response also. It's only because, Dr. D, the kind of approach that you have towards coaching is actually giving people a complete different idea of this profession, this industry. And that is why probably I can proudly say that they're easily connecting with us and with you. Now, here I have today for you two questions from the audience. A lot of us, Dr. D, have confusions in our minds while taking a step towards anything, and it's quite common. This question from our audience is actually bases that, and it says, the person is wanting to ask that is it possible that coaching doesn't work for me in spite of having an experienced coach? What would you like to say?
I think it's really one of the great question, Khushbu, and many of the people are not able to engage coaches or able to think that the coaching will work or not for themselves. That is the big confusion people they have. Practice wise, coaching is still taking its professional existence in India.
Right.
And although the coaching has been in the market for a long time, but because of not having many good coaches who can really act as a transformer, act as a empowering people, this the vision or the thought has not been able to create in the people's mind. And many of the people, even I keep on interacting with the very senior people in corporates. And when I talk about even, forget about the normal people, when we talk about the CXO and leadership coaching and business coaching and transforming and adding value to the life of the senior executives, even they have the same questions, ki whether coaching is going to work for me. And the answer is not very easy. The one line answer can be yes, it can work. Another thing is that yes, it cannot work. But two, three things are very important to understand, to totally understand this question and get into some conclusion whether it is going to work or not work and how it is going to be beneficial for any person, whether somebody is a student or a CEO of an organization.
Right.
It doesn't matter. So, first thing I would like to say, if a question is there, whether coaching will work, the two kind of people they ask this question. One, the person who really doesn't know anything about the coaching.
Mm.
The second, people who are in a high profile position and level. They believe that they are so much of experience, qualified, and capable that who is there who will coach them? They are the greater than everything in this world, or many of the coaches. So the question, this kind of questions, one comes from the innocence, which I called people doesn't know anything about the coaching,
Right.
and second question comes from the curiosity. Is there any coach available who can coach me? I'm non-coachable. I know everything.
Right.
So this is part from the people who is having this kind of question. You need to identify. I am talking to our audience, so you need to identify which kind of person you are. Coming to the answer side, yes, coaching is not a training.
Mm.
Coaching is not another certification. Coaching is not another skill and competency development program done by the various management institute or your learning and development department in your organization. I always say coaching is all about empowering and transforming people. Whether you are a student or you are a CEO of a company, it doesn't matter. It doesn't empower and transform the CEO of the person of the company. It transforms the human being who is the CEO of the organization. So, coaching is all about empowering and transforming that person who is having a title, who is wearing a title or a label of being a XYZ person in society, in an organization, in a corporate, or in any position and profile. So that is the difference people has to understand. So once you are convinced that coaching is not a training or a certification or a skill development, it becomes that everybody should need some kind of coaching. And why I'm saying that everybody needs some kind of coaching, because as a person, as a coachee, you doesn't know what kind of coaching you require.
Correct.
If as a coachee you know that this is the challenge I have, then you won't require coach. You can directly go and get those challenges or problem or issue fulfilled.
Hmm.
So see, like it's like I say compared to a doctor. If the patient knows I have this kind of problem, then you don't require a doctor. You can go and take the medicine and you can eat. You go to a doctor in order to get it diagnosed. What kind of challenge I have? It is the doctor, it is the coach who is going to take your analysis, he is going to do a diagnostic of yourself, and then he is going to advise you what kind of improvement as a human being you can bring into your personality, into your decision making, the way you take decision and implement those decision in your corporate life, personal life, professional life, career, or relationship. So first, understanding the coaching, it is not training, it is
Hmm.
not even mentoring, it is not even any kind of skill development, is very, very important. And that's why once you understand this, it makes you eligible or makes any person eligible that you should be coached. So coaching is an empowering of your oneself. Why you need to empower your oneself? Because you need to know your oneself. You need to discover your oneself. See, you might be a richest person in this world. You might be a highest qualified person in this world. But if you are not able to know who you are,
Right.
your life is lost. Whatever years of life you have lost, 70 years, 80 years on this earth, there is no meaning for that. The biggest gift which has been given by your parents or the God is your life on this earth. So, knowing the purpose of your life, why
Exactly.
you have been born, and what you can create for yourself and for the people in your world is very, very important. The people who are not able to know about their own personality, about their own, हमारे हिंदी में बहुत अच्छा एक वर्ड बोलते हैं स्वभाव. स्वभाव means स्व का भाव. What is the real emotion of your oneself? हम बातचीत की भाषा में बोलते हैं कि फलाने आदमी का स्वभाव बहुत अच्छा है, वो आदमी का स्वभाव बहुत अच्छा है, ही इज अ वेरी लवली पर्सन. हाउ यू से दैट कि ये तो ये सो का भाव है ना, जब तक आप अपने आप को नहीं जानोगे तब तक आपका स्वभाव पता नहीं चलेगा. तो सबसे पहले हमको अपना खुद का स्वभाव पता करना है कि हमारा भाव क्या है, हाउ आई एम ऑपरेटिंग और फ्रॉम व्हाट एंगल आई एम ऑपरेटिंग. और ईच एंड एवरी पर्सन आई टेल यू हैज इट्स ओन स्वभाव. हर आदमी का अपना अलग अलग स्वभाव है. Somebody
जी.
is a very loving, somebody is a very acceptable, somebody is a trustworthy, somebody is truthful. So each and every person's swabhav is totally different. And you should not allow that ki only other people should experience your swabhav. They are going to judge your swabhav, how you are operating. You might be a totally different person. How you are behaving, how you are interacting with the people in your world is going to be measured by the other people, and they are going to give you a label. So don't be labeled by the other people's judgment to know your स्वभाव. दूसरे को जजमेंट का ऑथोरिटी नहीं मिलना चाहिए. You should be you yourself to know and discover who you are. आपका स्वभाव क्या है, मतलब बहुत जरूरी है. अगर ये नहीं जान पाया ना, तो whole life is going to become a regret, regret, regret and regret. So all the qualification, all the money, all the empire, whatever you are going to create, name, fame, is all going to die with yourself here only on this earth. Only your satisfaction, your fulfillment, and whatever contribution you have created for yourself or for the people in this world is going to remain for the life, for the decades, and for the many thousands of the years in this world, and people are going to remember for those only those things. This is very important. The second point which I would like to touch upon that, which is very scientific and practical for corporate people, for educated people to understand. Because the thoughts what I was sharing is more of the people who has to understand themselves, and unfortunately these thoughts are not easily jailed by the so-called intellectual peoples in our world. So my answer to the people who are more intellectually capable to understand whether the coaching will be working for them or not, there are three things in this coaching when we talk. One is coachee, जिसके बारे में हमने बात अभी किया है. The second is the coach, and third is the coaching process. तो कोची के बारे में हमने तो बात किया है. Now the coachee is asking the question whether the coach or coaching process is going to work for me, or it is helpful for me or not. So let's understand the coach and the coaching process. Two things are very important. It will be only effective. The answer can be yes, it can be only effective if you have a proper coach. And what is the meaning of a proper coach? I will be coming on that. And the second thing is that you have a proper coaching practice followed. So the coach is capable and he is able to provide the proper coaching methodology. Then only it will work. If either of these two is not working properly or it not aligned, it is not going to work. You can have thousands of the coaches. Now let's talk about the coach and the coaching process one by one. Let's take the coach. The question you have asked that whether the coaching is going to work for me, even the coach is a very experienced person. Measuring the experience of coach is again a very different thing. How you are going to measure the experience of a coach? His coaching experience or her coaching experience, or his and her experience of age. If somebody is of 50 years of age coach, you are going to say him that he's a more experienced coach, or the person who is 35 years of age, you are going to say who is going to be more experienced coach. So one is by age, one is by the experience of coaching practices. I am saying that by age or by the experience of being in corporate or being in other position of employment or being in other position of profession doesn't make sense here, because when you are working or employed in any corporate or in your own profession in a different role, that experience is your experience of doing business or managing business. Is it helpful? Yes, it is helpful. But for the coaching, yes and no both. So understanding the coaching knowledge and experience of the person is coach is very important.
Right.
And not you count your certificate, not you count the certificate and employment history of the person, how long he has been in experience. A coach can be a real coach who can bring transformation to the life of the people.
Right. True.
So first of all, it is very important to understand that the coach is a transformed coach, because unless he or she himself or herself has the transformation in his or her life, a coach cannot become an empowering and transforming coach.
True.
Because lot of coaches, I will give you many examples. You go in social media, lot of coaches they say, okay, I will transform your business to 10x. The person has never seen a 10x growth in his own business or experience any time in his life, and they say and they talk about 10x growth for XYZ company. How he can bring it? I will able to resolve your life problem. I'm not able to resolve my life and relationship and career problem. How I can resolve your problem? So knowing and understanding the self transformation of the coach is very, very, very important. But the question for the coachee is very important. Ki how you know that coach? It is very easy to know that. When you talk to your coach in an engaging assessment or engaging session, you can just listen to the coach whether he is coming from his own expression or not. If the coach is not having his or her own expression of coaching and empowering the people, he is not a transformed coach.
Yes.
He is gathering some information, some methodology, some session from somewhere. It is very famous in India. We call Gyan Bato session. He brings the Gyan from somewhere, which is stored somewhere in some books, some website, some other available medium. You orate it in your own oratory capability and present it to the people. That doesn't make you a transformation coach. That doesn't make you a coach. So this is very, very important. Selection of coach is very important, who has been able to be empowered and transform his or her own life, own career, own business, own relationship. Then only you can create the impact in the life of the people. The second thing is the coaching process. And this is very, very important. I just said it that most of the coaches who are providing coaching services, they doesn't know how to engage into the coaching assignment with the people, if you start asking the question to the people who come for a coaching to you, how he will able to or she will able to answer? Because if he or she, the person, the mentee or the coachee, if he knows the answer of the problems or the question you are going to ask, why he or she required a coach? The
True.
issue is that somebody is stuck up in her life, career, business, and relationship challenges, and he doesn't know what to do, and that's why he requires a coach.
Right.
So, as a coach, your coaching process has to be designed on a diagnostic methodology. So, when you are going into a coaching assignment, your methodology of the coaching should be starting with a diagnostic approach. You should be having your content, your framework, your methodology.
Right.
So your content should be starting with a diagnostic approach where by sitting in the process of understanding the life, career, business, and relationship, you are able to diagnose the challenges of the person, and the person himself or herself is going to understand, diagnose, and experience and acknowledge what kind of challenges they have in their life, career, job, business, and relationship. For that, you should be having world class content, which is designed in such a way that he should be able to give the opportunity for the mentee, for the coachee, that they should be able to discover their challenges. And this content and this process has to be foolproof, which should be first able to help the diagnose the challenges, and then it should be able to create a roadmap to find out the solution by dismantling the challenges one by one and finding it out the solution, which is on a self-discoverable mode by the coachee himself or herself. And as a coach, you just become the witness of the transformation of your coaching. So, unless these three things are aligned, it is very difficult to get the any result from your coaching assignment. And that is the reason, Khushboo, you see, when we say India Coaching Federation, our first one line slogan is that we are transforming coaches and coaching in India for the world. Why we require to write this word? If the coaches and coaching practices in India or anywhere in this world is already transformed, then we don't require to create this organization.
Correct.
The biggest problem with the coaches and the coachee both is that the coaches are not able to find the better coaches,
Right.
and the coaches are not having their own expression. They doesn't have their coaching practice. They doesn't have their coaching framework. Most of the peoples, they are doing the gyan bato session, gathering the information from this people, this person, this book, and they are trying to apply to the other people. One thing I would like to say is very, very important. As a coach, you cannot bring your own experience to dissolve the experience of your coaching.
Correct.
Very, very, very important part. You might be having several life challenges, career challenges, business challenges, or relationship challenges. If you are coaching a person who is having life challenges or relationship challenges or career or business challenges, you cannot bring your own experience handling your problem. You are as an individual is a totally different person. Your challenges is a totally different challenges. You
Different
come from a
challenges.
different personality. Your swabhav is totally different. And the person you are interacting, he is altogether a different entity.
Different.
So you have to have coming through a process with your own self expression. Only for that person at that particular time, and where you are into such a kind of situation when the coach and the coaching process are
Process.
synced, marrying with each other, then it will start creating the transformation, and it happens automatically. You doesn't require to do anything. It happens being these three things in the system, and unless these three things are there, getting the result is very difficult, very difficult. And here I would like
Absolutely.
to say, yeah,
No, please. I was just saying, I was just adding. Yes, please. Up, continue.
yeah. So that is the reason, and that is the reason what happens. Many of the coaching assignments are not able to create the result, and people have the doubt, and it is very obvious to have the doubt, and that is
Correct.
the reason I always keep on saying credibility of the coach is very, very, very important, because people have this kind of question, किसके पास जाएं, कौन हमारे लिए प्रॉपर कोच है. Coaches are available from a 30 years of age to 85 years of age, 5 years of experience to 25 years of experience, 5,000 of fees to 1 lakhs of fees or crores of fees. किसके पास जाएं, कौन हमारा प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करेगा. This is the biggest challenge people have
See these ones.
about this coaching. So here, the role of a federation like India Coaching Federation gives a very big support. As an individual, bringing the credibility becomes very difficult. I'm not saying that you cannot create your own credibility. Yes, you can create your own credibility, but it will take long time. It will take 10 years, 15 years, 20 years to be a coach and create your credibility. But when you are a part of a federation like India Coaching Federation, which provide a research-based methodology in empowering and transforming the coaches and coaching in India and across the world, anybody who knows India Coaching Federation, they know that our coaches are totally transformed and they are able to create value. So this gives a high level of credibility for the people who are looking for the coaches, and even for the coaches who wants to become a real coach who can add value and transform the life of the people to be part of the organization like India Coaching Federation. That's all, Khushboo, I would like to say about this. Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Dr. D. I think this was very, very insightful. In fact, I would like to say that, I love the approach that you have towards coaching, as well as the most amazing part is the clarity, the amount of clarity and time that you give to explain things. It actually helps the person who's listening get clear understanding of what exactly things are about. And I'm sure the gentleman who has put this question for us has got his answer, and I'm sure there is a lot of food of thought for him after this that you've already shared with us. um, I think when you just said that India, the ones who've already transformed would know this. So I think I can absolutely say that I have already experienced that transformation, and I believe at this point in time, I would just like to say that it's so true that it's very much required that we transform ourselves as coaches before we start to transform people's life, and very strongly, it's about totally about you, my dear friends. It's your growth. Nobody remains the same throughout their life, whether through their own hard work and effort or through the events and situations they face. People change, and everyone has it within themselves to grow and develop as a person. And this is one of the aspects of life which I feel is often underappreciated. So that this could involve formal education to gain new skills and knowledge, probably involve um, a more personal journey of self-discovery and working on those various positive or negative traits we may want or maybe we may have already. And it could also involve the help of a professional to guide us down more fruitful future paths. And that can be your coach. Start looking for one. Whatever form it takes, personal growth is something that I believe should never stop. Well, this brings us to the end of our episode today. Thank you, Dr. D, for your presence here today. We had a great time listening to you yet again. And many, many thanks to all those who joined in for today's episode. It's time to say bye for now. Thank you for joining us. Stay tuned for the next episode on next Saturday at 5 p.m. Namaste.
Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Thank
Namaste.
you.